Hey everyone, and welcome. My name's Aaron, and today we're taking a look at the Hudson Electronics Sidecar Overdrive. I'm playing my 60th anniversary thin-line Telecaster through my Jackson Newcastle 18. And here is the clean signal, no pedals. I don't know how you can not like that, honestly. That is beautiful. Hudson Electronics Sidecar. Some of you may know that I have a Hudson Electronics broadcast, and that pedal is much celebrated in my life. I tell everybody about it, and it's probably still, to this day, my favorite like overdrive boost type of pedal. And so I was very interested and excited to get this from them. This is basically their version of the 808 style tube screamer type overdrive, with also some treble and bass controls. Typically on a tube screamer type of pedal, you just have a tone control, you know, up or down. But they've essentially split that into treble and bass controls, along with the typical drive and volume. An 808 style overdrive is very pleasing. It's just pleasing to the ear. It's smooth, people say. It has a little bit of a mid push. It has a little bit of a low cut by nature. It has actually a little bit of a high cut by nature. So it kind of rounds off those harsh edges. When you have too much low end going into your amp, it can sometimes tub out, and you know the speaker can sometimes start doing that if you have a lot of overdrive. And sometimes the top end, of course, you know, can get like really harsh. So when you have a lot of gain, it's sort of nice to round those suckers off, EQ-wise. That's what it looks like. It looks like a little rounded, like a little loaf of bread. The loaf of bread EQ, as opposed to the smiley face EQ, which we all do on our stereos. This is the loaf of bread. This is the bun in the oven. I was excited to check this out because I just get so amped up every time I play my broadcast, and I thought, you know, anything from this company is going to be dope. And I was not disappointed. This is basically like the ultimate tube screamer type of pedal. This is the one that you should get. Get this one. It is built really well, looks amazing. I mean, these are just like classy looking pedals from Hudson Electronics. And you have that separate bass and treble control. I would say that it kind of starts where the tube screamer starts. But then it has this wild sort of characteristic to it that is typical to Hudson Electronics pedals. And what I mean by that is, like, a tube screamer usually is always going to be sort of nice. And, you know, depending on what amp you're going into or whatever, it's sort of it's a smooth, it's a polite sound, it's an easy to listen to sound, it's an easy to play sound. But there were times with this guy that I was gritting my teeth a little bit more and like, ooh, that's a little bit more of a dangerous kind of sound. So a lot of different kind of tones inside this thing. My favorite sort of home base was kind of where I started, with the drive at about 9 o'clock, the treble a little below noon, the bass a little above noon, and then the level a little above noon. What that gave me, if I go to my bridge pickup here, pretty clean. Turn this sucker on. That's like modern pop rock all day long. Those are guitars like in a mix type of scenario. If you're recording, they sort of disappear. And when I say disappear, what I mean is they sort of like, if you record a couple of those, like one on this like a Telecaster and then one on a Les Paul or something like that, and then spread them out wide, and you're just doing like rhythm stuff, those guitars will just form this like bed of like guitar, wall of sound type of thing, where it's just like power. So if you want to do like a power like rock thing, power pop rock, wall of guitars, that is like the tone for that. You don't actually want like that much gain for that type of sound, which this doesn't really have that much. I might even bring it down a little, down the gain a little, back off the treble a little bit, bring up the bass a little bit more. That's like definitely pop rock record all day long. And then as you bring up the gain, as you bring the gain up, obviously it gets like more saturated. One thing I love about tube screamer type pedals is that the low end is really clear. What they're doing, you know, they cut the low end, but the way the low cut sort of combines with the gain gives you this like really clear. So even though I'm adding, you know, a bit of bass, that's still like a really clear, tight low end. And you can do sort of single note stuff with that much gain without it getting totally like weird and out of control. Sometimes if you try to do that with like a fuzz, it just is like, it's crazy. It's like goes everywhere and it's not that usable. But that kind of sound, again, in a mix, is like a really usable sound. It's like the 808 thing kind of knows. It knows the frequencies that a guitar should be sounding like. I also like just using it like as a boost. So bring the gain all the way down. So yeah, that's a lot different of a sound. Obviously, it's just sort of boosting level into the amp. It's a lot more like grindy. And then bring the drive up a little bit. Here's at about 9 o'clock. Up to about 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock. What do we got now? Add a little reverb and delay to that sucker. There you have it. Hudson Electronics Sidecar. Great 808 style germanium clipping overdrive. Go check it out for yourself if you get the chance. Highly recommended. Hey, let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. That's it from me today. We'll see you all next time.